2 years ago, Gage Nim set out on this sealed only journey where he basically bought three Servant of Endymion structure decks and kind of every week using a budget of $40. He basically bought packs and other sealed product and basically just used those to upgrade his deck and kind of build it up from there. So I decided to try to start my own version of that. Basically, we're going to be doing this every month, not every week like some YouTubers, but we will, because we are doing this every month, our budget will be $60. And the deck we'll be going with Raidraptors. Welcome to virtual sealed only Raidraptors. What's up guys, Forecastman here, and today we're doing another episode of virtual sealed only Raidraptors. This will be episode 3, and on this episode we're going to be opening Savage Strike. The Savage Strike has a couple of good things in here for us, namely the Time Thief package. So right now we're a pretty good rank 4 spam deck, but the Time Thieves just take it to a whole nother level, and they're all fairly low rarity, so hopefully we can pull one. They're all common pretty much, even Redoer. The Counter Trap is a common in the next set, so we might go into that sometime in the future to kind of get that extra negate and all that stuff. Right now we're looking for a playset of Time Thief Regulator, Winder, and Bezel Ship, as well as a copy or two of Time Thief Redoer. We'll see if we can get them, so let's get started. Alright, right off the bat we do have our Bezel Ship, which is nice. It's definitely a good card to have right off the bat. And nothing in this pack. Let's keep going. Okay, here's our Time Thief Redoer. That's a very good rank 4 to have. As well as Guard Dragon LP, rest in peace. Alright, here we have another Bezel Ship. I don't think we'll be playing more than maybe one or two, but it is nice to have them. Elemental Hero Brave Neos isn't too bad. In Neos Fusion is in this set as well, but maybe we can, bring that in as like a tech card. All right. Oh, there's our first Regulator. Very nice. We do need a playset of those. That is the best one out of all the Time Thief cards. It is basically a one card rank 4. You distribute it and summon 2 additional Time Thief monsters. Alright, nothing in this pack. Neospace Connector is pretty good, but I don't think we'll be playing it in our deck at any point. Alright, awesome. There's another Regulator. So now we have 2 Regulator, 2 Bezel Ship, 1 Redoer. We're looking for more Winders. Oh shit. Well, there's a Phantasmate. That's a pretty good card to have. Definitely would appreciate the extra card draw. As well as a 3rd Bezel Ship, so now we have our playset of that. Still looking for the Winders though. Another Redoer, very nice. Alright, nothing in this pack. I'm starting to sweat a little bit. If we don't get a Winder, this will be kind of a waste. Alright, another Redoer. That is pretty good. I'll probably put both of them in, all 3 of them. Still nothing. We need those Winders. At least one. There we go. There's the Winder. Fantastic. Now we have the combo. You tribute a Regulator, summon Winder, and Bezel Ship. I would like more Winder if possible. So hopefully we can pull them. There's still a lot of time. And there's another one. Now we have 2 Winder. Awesome. Nothing in this pack. Still looking for our 3rd Winder and our 3rd Regulator. There's another Bezel Ship. That is not the one that we need. Alright, again, nothing in these packs. Nothing that's particularly good for us except for those Time Thief cards. Alright, we got Cyberse Quantum Dragon. I don't think we can play that at any point. So unfortunately we can't use it. Alright, nothing in here. Again, looking for more Winders, more Regulators. Hey, there we go. There's that Winder. So now we have 3 Winder, I think 2 Regulator, a playset of Bezel Ship, and Redoer. Alright, still looking for the Regulator. We want that 3rd copy. Alright, coming into the last couple of packs. Nothing particularly exciting. There's another Yugioh Space Connector. Psychic Tracker is pretty good if you're playing like a PK Fire deck. That is not us though, so we do not care. Let us open the last pack. Ooh, okay. Unfortunately, nothing interesting there. Just another bezel ship, another redoer, which we have more than a playset of each. So we got the Brave Neos, which is interesting, but we didn't get Neos Fusion, so that's kind of useless. We got most of the Time Thief cards that we want. Another Regulator would have been nice, but you know, I won't complain, especially since we got this Phantasme. I think we still got 2 Regulators and a playset of pretty much everything else that we wanted out of this box. So let's get to some deck building. Alright, and we are back. So here is the list that we have cooked up ever since we opened up our 24 packs of Savage Strike. As you can see, we made quite a few changes. First of all, of course, we added the Phantasme here to the main deck. As far as hand traps go, this is the only one that we have access to right now, so it's awesome that we were able to get it. It's a nice draw power, and it's just a nice extra body as well. As for the Time Thief package, we got 2 bezel ship. We got a playset, but I'm only playing 2 right now. We only got 2 regulator, so that's why we only have 2 regulator. And then finally 3 Time Thief Winder. Time Thief Flyback is a card that I initially overlooked, but upon further review it's actually pretty good. Since we don't have access to Shade Brigandine, which is a trap monster, our redoer doesn't really get its trap effect, at least that we can control. And of course if we take one from the top of our opponent's deck, redoer can get its trap effect, which is basically to spin something back. But we can't control that. But we can with Time Thief Flyback. You see, you activate it and then you equip Time Thief Flyback, the other copy from the deck, to a redoer. Then all of a sudden your redoer has a quick effect that lets you just spin a card back to the opponent's deck. So that's really nice, and it's really our only form of disruption in terms of like monster stuff. So it's generally what we want to try to get to going first, at least. Everything else has remained pretty much the same. I added the 3 redoer because it is a really good rank 4, and we are pretty heavy on that rank 4 toolbox. Nothing else really was any good. The Zubababa General. We have more warrior targets. Actually, no, we don't. Winder's a psychic, and the rest are machines. So Zubababa General is just not a good card in general. Gem Knight Pearl, of course, is bad, and then the Revolution Falcon. I don't think we need more than 2. I doubt very highly we'll ever be able to make 3 in one game. So that's why I dropped that 3rd one. But we still do have the 2. I also replaced the Mirror Force. Remember from the last episode, it just got destroyed all the time. I think spun by a unicorn and destroyed by a phoenix. So it just isn't able to resolve at this point. Just because of those nightmares are just so generic. If your opponent wants to get rid of it, they definitely can pretty easily. I took out the Mystical Space Typhoon in the main deck. I just don't think there's a place for it in the main. We're just trying to focus on that rank 4 toolbox and all those other plays. MSC doesn't really do a whole lot. It's good for back row, but it's only a 1-for-1, so even then it's not like the greatest back row removal. If we play an opponent who is playing a lot of back row, maybe we'll side it in if we do play a match. And finally, I took out 1 Mimicry Lanius. I think 2 is fine. 3 was a little bit overkill. We have a lot more normal summons now because of the Time Thief package. And we don't want to be normal summoning Mimicry Lanius if we can avoid it. We took out a Singing Lanius. Singing Lanius, again, we still have that 1 in the deck. It can be searched and special summoned off of 4 Strix, so it is still a pretty good extender. But because it can be searched from 4 Strix, we don't really need to play more. And then finally, Harpy Harpist. It was a little bit disappointing that I couldn't find a place for it. It is a card that we've had since the beginning, that I've tried to kind of talk myself into using, but it just hasn't come up at all. We just haven't drawn it a single time out of all the duels that we've done. So we really kind of had no choice, and I just think the Time Thieves are just better options. Harpy Harpist was good episode 1, but now it's just been a little bit power crept. Everything else, as you can see, I've just kept on the side deck. just because I wasn't particularly 100% on this list, but I think playing around with it a bit, I've kind of warmed up to it a bit more. That redoer with the flyback equipped is just a really good disruption. We still have the bottomless, the two bottomless, and the forbidden chalice. Then of course just crazy extenders with the curtain riser, the goblin bird, Kage to Kages. So I'm really excited to see what this deck can do. I have done a little bit of testing on this, so some of the plays are pretty powerful. Obviously not as big as like a fully constructed deck, but we still can do quite a bit. But hopefully we get to show that off, and let's get into the duels. So for game 1 we are going first. We're going to summon the Goblin Bird, go into Winder, Winder search the flyback. Then we're just going to XC summon into Redoer and set the flyback. Our opponent will try to blind MSD. We'll just spin that flyback to get the flyback to Redoer, so we have that free spin. Uses Polymerization, and he's ended up playing Melodious, which I don't really feel like reading their cards, so I'm just going to spin that back with Redoer. Special summons a monster, but it is our turn now. So we're going to steal a card from his graveyard, use that spell card to get a free draw. Summon Vanishing Lanius, summon Tribute Lanius, Mimicry, search Stinging Lanius, summon. We're going to get 101 off of that. Then special summon Winder from the hand. Winder get a monster, although it's not really going to matter because now we have game on the board, and that's game 1. 1 for 1 so far. Let's see if we can keep the win streak alive. Alright, so on to game 2. Our opponent's going to set a whole lot of cards. He ends up playing True Draco, sets some more cards, uses Card of Demise, and it is our turn now. So he flips Imperial Order, which kind of forces me to chain my Forbidden Chalice, because I don't want him to be getting any pluses off of the Ignis Heat. So we're going to chain the Forbidden Chalice. He will chain his trap cards. He has the Gozen Match and the True Draco Apocalypse. Luckily for us, Gozen Match doesn't really matter since all our cards are dark, so there's nothing that Gozen Match really prevents us from doing. I summon Curtain Riser and I forget about the IO, even though we just used it. Unfortunately, Curtain Riser is a little bit of a waste. We'll go into Regulator, go into Winder and Bezel Ship, and here I'm actually going to go to Dark Rebellion Xyz Dragon to try to attack over his monster. We'll lower his attack, but he ends up popping it with his trap card, which is fine. His monster 1400 attack now. Actually pretty easy to get over. So all he can do is just set some cards and attack, and we get the Mimicry Lanius. We'll summon the Winder, summon the Kage to Kage. Now his Ignis Heat is back online, so he'll just get some cards. We'll summon the Kage to Kage. We'll go for Redoer this time. We'll get our free spin back with the flyback and just start attacking. So I just spin back his Gozen Match because who knows, I might want to go into a rank 4 toolbox play next turn. And he only has cards that he can set. So we'll just keep stealing some stuff, get the free card draw. And now he does the Gozen Match again, which is totally fine. We'll summon back the Bezel Ship, we'll summon the Tribute Lanius, and that's pretty much game. So that's game 2. We've won game 2 against True Draco. Pretty happy about that. 2 for 2. Let's see if we can end undefeated this week. Alright. Our third and final game. Turns out our opponent is playing the new Arcana Force Jokers from the new King's Court set. He'll summon a Sold, do some stuff. He searched a big monster who we'll see later. Go into some stuff. He'll go into Constant Pallades. Now it's my turn. So I have a couple options of what I can do here. I can maybe summon Winder and Kage to Kage, or I can just Time Thief Regulator, tribute that, and then go into rank 4. I'm kind of worried about this Constellar Pallades. I want to go into 2 level 4s, then he bounces back one of mine, so I don't want to commit too hard on a play. So I'm just going to go into Regulator and go into Kage to Kage. Luckily, he decides to save his Constellar Pallades until I go into a rank 4, which is a Redoer. And Redoer can just tag itself out when Constellar Pallades tries to spin it back. So we'll get Redoer back, we'll steal some cards, you know the stuff. So we'll chain the flyback and get the trap onto Redoer as he bounces back the bottomless trap hole that we have. So he goes into Arcana Force Triumph Joker, which does a lot of things. It's pretty big, but it is not immune to spell effects, so we just spin that back with Redoer. Now he'll go into a couple more monsters, go into his pretty much pass, which sets us up pretty nicely for the turn. We use flyback card, use that card to get some card draw, and steal some more. Next, we're going to normal summon the Bezel Ship, summon the Winder with its effect. We'll get Regulator, although we're not going to use it. We'll XC summon our Strix, get the Singing Lanius. Summon the Singing Lanius, get the Bezel Ship back using the effect of Bezel Ship. Go into Dark Rebellion Xyz Dragon, take his monster's attack to get a little bit bigger, and then we'll Astral Force into Revolution Falcon. Then with Revolution Falcon, we'll just OTK him. K, 2K, 35, and then Redoer is game. And that's 3 out of 3. Undefeated this week using those Time Thieves. And they came in super nice. It's just a much better rank 4 engine. Redoer is amazing as a rank 4 that actually does stuff. So even if we don't use the Time Thief cards, Redoer is just a really good card like by itself, as you can see. We're really happy with how this has turned out. We have a lot of options that we can go next. We can do like Phantom Rage, we can do Overload, go into like Shining Victories. There's a whole lot of things we can do. There is still a counter trap that Time Thieves have, which we might go for, and that's an Ignition Assault. So we'll see what we do, because one of those might be just to get off Winder and stuff. So we have a lot of options. Make sure to stay tuned for next episode. See you guys later.